Thanks for joining us. I'm Kenesha Dees. We start with breaking news out of Tuscaloosa. Mo, take it away.
That's right, Kenesha. Breaking news as Coach Nick Saban is calling it a career. ESPN's Chris Lowe says that the longtime Alabama head coach telling his team this afternoon that he is retiring. Now let's just go down the Saban profile. He won 7 national championships, 1 at LSU, 6 with the Crimson Tide. Since arriving in Tuscaloosa, Coach Saban turning Alabama's football program into a title powerhouse that hadn't been seen since the likes of Bear Bryant roaming the sidelines many years ago. 6 of those titles were just in the midst of 17 seasons, making him a coach that has won more national championships than any other major college football coach. Coach Saban is the only college football coach to have a football player drafted in the first round at every single position. Reaction of this news is already flooding in. Here's Luke Robinson from Locked On Bama.
I'm just shocked. I'm sad, but I'm also proud. I mean, Nick Saban did so much for the University of Alabama, for the state of Alabama, for college football in general, that how can you be mad? I'm not mad at him. He's going out on his terms. I'm not mad at the least, but I am, I'm sad in the sense that, it is the end of maybe the greatest era of college football ever.
Definitely shocking news for Alabama fans and really college football fans across the college football world.
Wow, Mo. Definitely a bombshell today.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the other thing. The big question is, who's next?
Who's next? That is the question.
For sure.
Thank you. All right, Mo. The big news of the day, Alabama head coach Nick Saban is retiring. Yes, you just heard those words. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kenesha Dees. Our sports director, Mo, fills us in. Mo, take it away.
All right. On Monday, Michigan, the team that beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl, won the CFP national title. But 48 hours later, that story has gone by the wayside because the biggest story happening in the world of sports is the retirement of a college football legend. And of course, we're talking about Coach Nick Saban. He and his family, they took some time off following that loss to the Michigan in the Rose Bowl, and a decision was made today to retire. Now, during his tenure as a head football coach, Coach Saban winning 7 national championships, 1 with LSU and 6 with the Crimson Tide. And all of this occurred in a span of about 2 decades. Scott Tyson of our radio partner ESPN 97.7 The Zone has been covering Coach Saban since he arrived in 2007. He's glad that Saban is going out on his own terms.
He earned the longevity to decide when he wants to retire. He and his wife, Terry, Miss Terry, I mean, they went down to Florida. This was not a decision that he made lightly. This was not something he woke up this morning and said, I'm going to retire. They took time down in Florida after the loss at the Rose Bowl, and this was something that, I mean, he told his team this morning, and that's the way he wanted to do it. This was done on his time, his terms, and his way.
Now, since 2008, Alabama has been a college football powerhouse. Coach Saban rejuvenating the fan base and always had the Tide in the running for the SEC and national championship. We spoke to some local Tide fans about Coach Saban's upcoming retirement, and there were some mixed feelings.
I think Coach Saban is the greatest coach in the history of college football, and he's done so much for the University of Alabama. And obviously we're sad to see him leave, but he deserves it, and we wish him well in his retirement.
I'm a Tennessee fan, so I've experienced a lot of pain and misery over the last 15, 16, however many years it's been. So I couldn't be happier. I'm sure they'll hire somebody just as good, and it'll still be bad for us, but I'm going to take the win for today.
I feel like he deserves it, man. 6 national championships, more than most people have as a school history. So, I mean, he deserves it. Like, it was going to happen one day, He great. He the GOAT, and I appreciate everything he did for the university.
All right, now coming up later in sports, we'll have more from Scott Tyson and Luke Robinson from Locked On Bama, and they'll join us to talk about potential replacements for Coach Saban down in Tuscaloosa.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
January 10th, 2024 is a day that Alabama football fans knew was coming, and they dreaded it at the same time. See, this afternoon we received word that Nick Saban was set to retire. Now, the news was broken by ESPN's Chris Lowe and then confirmed by the Tuscaloosa News. Coach Saban telling his team this afternoon in a brief meeting about his decision. He is set to walk away from the game after winning national titles a number of them 6 at Alabama. And of course, all this happened in just 17 seasons. Now, Coach Saban, he led the Crimson Tide to 8 SEC championships and also helped the Alabama teams become some of the best, perhaps, in all of college football history. Coach Saban said that the 2023 squad was his favorite team, and even though they didn't win a natty, Luke Robinson of Locked On Bama explained why Coach Saban is still going out on top.
He was able to get this team regrouped and make it to the playoffs. They ended up losing in overtime to the eventual national champions while winning the SEC, while winning the Iron Bowl in dramatic fashion, while beating Tennessee again and LSU again in the Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, he accomplished a lot with this particular team, so I don't think he lost a step at all. I just think that whenever he was going to decide to retire, there are going to be things out there. Oh, Michigan ran him out. Oh, he lost a step. Oh, he's scared of Hugh Freeze. He's scared of Kirby Smart. I don't think any of those things are true. I think he's in his early 70s, and he's made a lot of money, and he's done a lot in his career.
So take a look at this. Coach Saban took over the Alabama program in 2007. That team went 7-6 on the field, but 5 wins were vacated due to violations from a prior coach. Nevertheless, Coach Saban still won 88% of his games in T-Town, and with the exception of 2010, the Crimson Tide won 11 games in 15 out of 17 seasons. Scott Tyson of our radio partner ESPN 97.7 The Zone remembers when Coach Saban came to T-Town and turned everything around.
You know what? I remember standing on the tarmac waiting for the plane to land, and then the introductory press conference. And they had yet to renovate the press room at the time, and it was, you know, it is what it is now, but I mean, it was packed to the gills because this was coming off a time where Rich Rodriguez was expected to be the head coach. And everybody was converging on Tuscaloosa a couple, 3 or 4 weeks before that because everyone thought Rich Rodriguez was going to be the coach. And the feeling was it wasn't received very well because Nick Saban was the guy. That's the guy they wanted from the very beginning. And Mal Moore made it happen. And goes down to Miami. The rest is history. And wow, what an introductory press conference.
So who wants to replace Nick Saban following the news of his retirement? Well, guess what? I've got a list of some quality candidates. We'll talk about them next.
Now back to Fox 54 Sports, sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Being the head football coach at the University of Alabama is an important task, and the next head coach will have the tall task of replacing a legend. Here's a look at some potential candidates who may replace Coach Saban following this retirement.
Dan Lanning certainly on the list. I mean, do you even kick the tires on a Kirby Smart? I'm not saying he would leave, but I mean, I guess it doesn't ever hurt to call, right? I mean, does it hurt to call a Steve Sarkisian? There are a lot of things out there, a lot of people out there that are good coaches. None of them are Nick Saban, in my opinion, and that's going to be the interesting thing. Somebody's going to have to follow in some gigantic Tyrannosaurus Rex size footsteps.
From what I'm hearing, Dan Lanning is going to be the primary target for Alabama.
From Oregon.
That is who they are going to go after first, is Dan Lanning. 3 or 4 years ago, the hottest name was Dabo Swinney.
Right.
That's where everybody wanted to go.
Plus, he's an Alabama alum.
And he's from the Birmingham area. I mean, it would be a great natural fit. But I think the waters have cooled so much on Dabo Swinney that they need to get someone because of the transfer portal. The way NIL is going, Nick Saban has not been a fan of the NIL. He's warned everybody about everything that's going on. And I think that's going to be what people are going to ask is, did Nick Saban step away because of everything? The NIL. Look at Coach K. Look at Roy Williams, Duke in North Carolina.
Right.
You look at Jim Boeheim in Syracuse. Those guys, Hall of Fame coaches, but the NIL ultimately drove them out.
All right, sticking with the big news of the day, support is pouring in from fans in a sweet way, quite literally. Stick with us. All right, well, Alabama fans have placed gifts at the feet of Nick Saban's statue outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. oatmeal cream pies, bottles of Coke can be seen. The Coke at every Saban press conference. And of course, we have our cream pies.
We have, in fact, oatmeal cream pies in the legendary, well, this isn't the legendary bottle of Coke. I don't know. Cream pies make me happy, too. I get cranky without them.
And they are a favorite of his, right?
Correct.
Every morning for breakfast, cream pies and coffee.
It's been a while since I've had the oatmeal cream pies. Let me take a bite. Or a piece. Hold on.
Say goodnight.
These are good.
Well,
All right. We'll see you all later. Good night.